As the meltdown continues in Afghanistan, the Biden administration, including the Pentagon, continue to tout last month's Afghanistan evacuation mission as a historic success. The realities of what transpired have painted a decidedly different story. Clearly, the fact that an ISIS suicide bomber seemingly let through by a Taliban checkpoint, killing 13 American service members, sits at the top of the list of failures. But don't get me wrong, that's far from the only issue with the administration's plan or lack thereof. For example, it turns out that we only evacuated around 8,500 SIV holders and their families, calling into question exactly who we did evacuate. Further, a new report from CNN of all places has revealed that the evacuation developed into a sex slavery market as women entered into forced marriages in exchange for the promise of rescue. Yes, you heard that correctly. A Ted Cruz advisor by the name of Army Seren, I'm sure I murdered that, tweeted out, thinly sourced, but CNN says there's cable on it. If true, there should be mass resignations. Quote, Biden administration didn't have criteria and didn't vet tens of thousands of Afghans they evacuated. What resulted was market for forced child marriage and sex slavery across evacuation process, unquote. Okay, so sources said that some Afghanistan women and girls housed at one of the evacuation centers in the UAE reported that their families had forced them into marriage outside of the airport in Kabul so they could escape the country as the Taliban seized power. In some reported instances, families paid men eligible for evacuation thousands of dollars to marry or pose as husbands for women to flee. Now, before I get too carried away here, let's take a quick commercial break to pay some bills. Friends, I'm going to point out the obvious. It seems like big government and big tech are trying to destroy America. Everything they touch turns into a disaster. Pretty soon the whole system will fall apart, and the first thing to fall will be the food supply chain. So, do you have enough emergency food to get through a serious long-term crisis where you can't get food at the grocery store? Most people don't, and they'll panic when the time comes. That is why the smart move now is to get long-term storage emergency food before things go bad. I highly recommend My Patriot Supply. They've served millions of American families and have over 41,000 4-star and 5-star reviews. Their mission is your survival, and right now you can save 25% on a 4-week kit of emergency food that will save the day, probably soon. Order a starter kit for each member of your family and they'll ship everything quickly and discreetly to your door. Go to preparewithresurgence.com so you can claim your 4-week emergency food kit and save 25% in the process. That's preparewithresurgence.com or hit that link in the description box. Now, Omri Serene, an advisor for Ted Cruz, calls for massive resignations, but that's obviously not going to happen. Because, obviously, if the blood of American service members spilled by the insane decision to outsource security to the Taliban, a terrorist government, wasn't enough to get any combination of Mark Milley, Lloyd Austin, Jake Sullivan, or Anthony Blinken to step down, nothing will be. That doesn't mean they shouldn't, though, of course. But, as the advisor points out, this is also evidence that the vetting process was an absolute joke, as we all expected. Men were literally able to take payment for women being forced into sex slavery within hours of being evacuated, and no one checking the paperwork seemed to give a shit. So that means they either turned a blind eye or, as I suspect, after looking at many pictures of packed planes, they weren't even actually checking the backgrounds of these people to even notice what was going on. But honestly, folks, none of this is really surprising now, is it? We saw the country of Libya descend into a literal modern-day slave state after the Obama administration orchestrated the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi. Unintended consequences seem to be a constant when it comes to the idiots in Washington's foreign policy. You know, the smart set, as they say. This is why a real investigation into the administration and how all these decisions were made is needed. Obviously, the Democrats in Congress won't move on that, now will they? But Republicans should have a long memory after they likely retake the House. Now, Biden's incompetence is one thing, but his senility obviously wasn't the only factor that led to the disaster that unfolded. It continues today as Americans remain abandoned to the Taliban. Hate to say I told you so, I kinda told you so a few weeks ago. Now, bringing it back home to the States, Joe being Joe just can't stop lying, no matter how pointless and completely worthless the blatant lie really is. That was my thoughts when I saw that the Drooler-in-Chief had once again completely made up his attendance at a past event, this time while hosting a group of Jewish leaders. Now, according to Biden, via a bumbling, confusing claim, he visited the Tree of Life synagogue following a mass shooting that occurred there some years ago. You may remember that story. Here's a clip of yet another "I was arrested trying to free Gandhi" or "T-Bone had a rusty switchblade waiting for me" dreamed up nonsense or whatever. Take notice to how comfortable this completely worthless phony crook is as he dreams up another whopper, trying to virtue signal.
And the point I'm trying to make here is that I used to think, coming out of the civil rights movement and being involved in the Jewish community as a kid in the civil rights movement in Delaware, I used to think that hate could be defeated. It could be wiped out. But I learned a long time ago, it can't. It only hides. It hides. It hides under the rocks. And given any oxygen at all, it comes out. It's a minority view, but it comes out, and it comes out raging. And it's been given too much oxygen in the last 4, 5, 7, 10 years. And it has seen itself, whether it was, I remember spending time at the, going to the Tree of Life synagogue, speaking with them. It just is amazing these things are happening in America. And I guess the point I want to make is that it just shows that if we walk away from never again, it's going to happen again.
Now, naturally, Biden had not, in fact, visited the Tree of Life synagogue. Further, the Drooler-in-Chief has told that lie several times, yet he keeps on repeating it. Now, that tracks with other whoppers, such as his claim that he was part of the civil rights movement in Delaware. Yeah, right. Okay, more recently, he claimed to have driven an 18-wheeler in his younger years, something that decidedly did not happen. Because of course it didn't. That would involve actual skills and doing something positive for the world, something that this man is physically incapable of doing. Biden, for all the claims that his administration represents a return to honesty, quote, "How refreshing," as Brian Stelter would say, has shown himself to be a constant fountain of dishonest commentary, and he often lies about the dumbest things. Now, does anybody really believe he gave Corn Pop a good talking to at the old city pool? Sorry, my bad. Turns out T-Bone, who I referenced earlier, was a fictitious character of former failed Democrat presidential primary candidate and closet homosexual Cory Booker. But folks, Biden's lies don't just stop at mundane and stupid. Right now, Americans are trapped in Afghanistan because our Drooler-in-Chief lied when he said he'd leave troops in the country until every American who, quote, wanted to get out, got out. Like there's anyone in that shithole outside of the Taliban or Al-Qaeda that doesn't want out. Twisting words into nonsense won't make this go away, Jen Psaki. He also lied about there being no intelligence, saying that the Taliban could quickly take over the country. And of course, we can't forget that he lied and continues to lie about how his first wife and child died, repeatedly blaming a man who was not actually at fault for the accident. So, now that we've established that Biden is a lying liar who lies, the next obvious question is why? When people began to note that he was lying about visiting the Tree of Life synagogue, the most common retort was that he simply forgot. You see, according to Biden's defenders, he talked to a rabbi on the phone or something at one point after the shooting, so that must have been what he really meant. Yet we should ask ourselves, is it really a good look for the President of the United States of America to be forgetting basic things like where he went or where he didn't? I don't know about you folks, but I feel like it's almost like being able to remember basic things is a normal prerequisite for the job, maybe. Now, I don't buy that it's just his mental decline, though. Biden has been lying his whole career, and while I'm more than happy to blame much of his incoherence on his senility and probably dementia, I think he knows exactly what he's doing because Biden is a classic bullshit artist. Now, we've all known someone like him, someone who has been everywhere and done every damn thing under the sun, or so they claim. He's Brian Williams, except he's a politician instead of a news anchor. In other words, the lies are intentional and should be treated as such. The only reason we don't hear more about their aggregation is that the fact checkers have refused to keep track of Biden's lies the way they did with President Trump, of course. When Glenn Kessler, the Washington Post's fact checker guy, still touts his quote, "Trump lied 30,000 times" claim, he completely refuses to keep such a record on the current president. You see, to do so would be to admit that Biden is the most dishonest hack to ever inhabit the White House. We can't have that now, can we? Regardless, while Biden's lies are clearly intentional, at least to me at this point, I don't want to downplay senility. Whatever you want to blame these lies on, it makes him unfit for office, and the country has over 3 years of this left to go through. It's a sad, sad scene. These people have literally screwed up every single damn thing they've touched. It's almost remarkable at this point. God help us all, and thank you for watching. Most of this came by way of redstate.com. If you liked it, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment down below. There's a PayPal link in the description box, so please put $1 in the bucket on the way out the door. I'd like to thank everyone for all your donations. They're much needed and much appreciated. Now, with all that being said, we'll see you next time.
Come on, move. Move. Easy, easy.